Unit 3 introduces one of my all-time favorite subjects, web design. Before we dig into how web pages are built, make sure you watch the World Wide Web in Plain English video in Blackboard and understand how client-server computing and web browsers work. Web pages are HTML documents. HTML, if you remember, stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's the code used to write web pages. HTML is known as a markup language and uses markup tags to describe the different elements on the web page. These tags are known as HTML tags. HTML tags normally come in pairs that include a starting or opening tag and an ending or closing tag. Whatever is in between those tags is considered the content of that particular tag. These tags tell your web browser what an element is and how to display it on your screen. So now that I've thoroughly confused you, let me show you what I mean, and I think it will make a lot more sense. First off, web pages are HTML documents. Kind of like Word documents, they're just files on a computer or server. For example, here on my computer, I have a copy of the RCC website. Doesn't look any different than a normal folder or file you would look at anywhere else. Now, my computer isn't a server, so you can't access these HTML documents from your web browser. I just have them here so that I can edit them and then save them to the RCC web server so that you and everyone around the world can access them. But if I log in to the RCC web server, I can still view the files in Windows Explorer because they're still just HTML documents stored on the hard drive of the server. And as you can see, it looks the exact same. The difference is this server is set up to allow you and me access to these files through our web browser. So when I type http://www.rappahannock.edu into my web browser, what's happening behind the scenes is using the HTTP protocol. My browser looks for the rappahannock.edu domain, which is our college network. Once it finds our network, it looks for the specific machine named www, which is our web server. Since I don't have a specific file listed in the URL, it looks for a default web page, which for our website is index.shtml. Next, if I take a look at what this particular index.shtml file looks like, you will see there is lots and lots of code. Lots of it. So instead of confusing you more, I figured I'd start with a blank page and we'd go from there. I'm going to open up Notepad by clicking the Start button. You should find it under Programs, Accessories, Notepad. Although it's nice, you don't need to have a special web page authoring program to create web pages. Using Notepad that comes with Windows or TextEdit, which comes on Mac OS X, you can create web pages all by yourself. So I'm going to start by typing our first ever HTML tag so you can see what the heck I'm talking about. And that is simply the HTML tag. The way you distinguish an HTML tag from the contents of the tag is by wrapping that tag in the greater than, less than signs. So these signs themselves are what make the tag. If I remove them, it's no longer a tag, it's just text, it's just content. So you have to have these tags. Secondly, remember that if you use an opening tag, which is this right here, you must also use a closing tag, which is this right here. They are exactly the same except your closing tag uses the / symbol to indicate that it's closing. And finally, remember that the tag describes whatever is inside of it. So everything I put inside my HTML tag will be treated as HTML elements. Every element on a web page is inside of HTML tags. So let's take a look at a few more basic HTML tags and actually write our first basic web page.